What is going on, and welcome back to another iCoach Nutrition Radio podcast. Today's episode, we are going to be diving into my Summer Shred 2023, which I debated whether or not even coming on here and doing the podcast, because to be honest with you, I am a little disappointed with the start of my dieting phase thus far. I was so ready to start this thing. When I first kicked it off on February 27th. As many of you know that have been kind of following this journey, I got COVID the very first week that I started, and it, as much as I don't want to admit it, it literally just destroyed my motivation. I don't really know how else to explain it other than, I had completed the initial assessments process. I was ready to go. I was fired up. I was motivated. I had kind of a community around me here, ready to start it with me. And then I get sick with COVID for basically the whole first week. And it just absolutely destroyed me. And it's been a challenge through this first month to kind of get dialed in after that happened. There's been a lot of stress. Number one, there's a stressor of the COVID and getting sick week one of your dieting phase. There's been another stress, and that many of you don't know yet, and many people do not know yet. And for those of you that are in this Facebook group, on this podcast, YouTube, y'all are some of the first to know, which is I have been stressing so incredibly much about the fact that my wife and I found out that we are pregnant with baby number 3. And I have been stressing over obviously wanting to have a healthy baby, but not just that, having one healthy baby. And this has been a stressor that's happened to me every single time that we have gotten pregnant and had a baby, because having twins or triplets or whatever is like one of my biggest fears in the world. And today we had our first doctor appointment, and I am so incredibly grateful and blessed to say that we have one healthy baby on the way, number 3, the last baby with the Murphy family here. So, to all of you that do know and that I've shared this story with, thank you for your prayers. It means the world to me. Again, I cannot even put into words how much stress this has given me. But I'm very, very grateful for all of you. Alex and I have always said that, we don't want to wait to tell people, because the more people that we tell, hopefully the more prayers that we'll have. And that has been the case through our church, through our community group at church, through all of you. It's really been a blessing to have you in our lives, and to have the prayers that you have you prayed for us. And so we really appreciate you. Whether you know it or not, you're a big part of our family. I share a lot of my life here through this platform, and I'm just very grateful to have y'all support. With that said, 1 month before starting this dieting phase, I fractured my clavicle. I didn't do any upper body training whatsoever for a whole entire month, and I felt soft, to say the least. I definitely felt like I had lost muscle. And so, really for me, my main priority through this first month was to be very consistent with training, and to hopefully build some muscle back, which I am sad to say, based off my in-body results here, has not been the case. I just got in-body results, or in-body testing done again here this last Monday, so yesterday. And it shows that I've lost actually a little bit of muscle, which honestly makes no sense to me. Up until this point, I've always done DEXA scans, and recently here I've done in-body, And I don't know. I mean, I'm relying on the data here, but it just is a little mind blowing to me that I've actually lost a little bit of muscle because I went from, maybe 2 strength workouts a week back up to 4 or 5. So it's a little disheartening here, but you know what? It is what it is. So, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. We're going to dive into the data. And the last, video that I did here was on the 13th. It's now the 28th. So this will be based off yesterday, Monday, the 27th, and we'll kind of review through. So this will be basically over the last 2 weeks. So week 3/4, I'll go ahead and put it here. Focus items for me were to keep the eating out to 4 times a week or less, which I'm happy to say that, well, let me actually take this back. So this was 313, right? So if I look at 313, that first week, I did not accomplish that. 8 out 3, 6, 7, 8 times. This last week only 8 out 4 times. So did not execute week 1, did execute week 2. From there, it was plan MyFitnessPal the night before in order to dial in the calories. This is something that I have not been doing. I've not been, I don't know. I have not gotten back into the habit of doing it. I've not made it a priority. And looking at this habit tracker, I'm like, well, maybe the reason why is because I haven't actually been tracking it, right? So I'm going to come in here right now, right? I'm going to insert a column, plan MyFitnessPal the night before. Right. And what this does is by me checking this, hopefully there'll be a direct correlation in that, hey, if I check this box, I'll now be a lot more consistent with my calorie and macronutrient intake. So as you can see here, I haven't been. The next piece there was increasing steps to 8,000. So this is something that I have done. I've been very consistent with my activity, my steps. I met my goal there, my workouts. I've been hitting 4 or 5 workouts a week. But it just goes to just goes to say you can't out train a bad diet. Not to say that I have a bad diet necessarily, but my calories and my macros are not dialed in, right? I mean, if I'm going off of I was at the 2,800 calories, that would mean that I'm at, the 27 and 2,900. So I hit it once, a little over there, a little under here, way over here, way over here, pretty much there, maybe a little under, and then way under, right? So and I could go up here and kind of do the same thing, but ultimately my calorie and macronutrient intake has been way off. And why is that? Because I haven't been planning my day out the night before. Right? I mean, this stuff is simple, it's not complex, but it's hard to execute. Right? It's easy to say, it's hard to do. So out of my week 3, week 4 focus items this last week, I went 2 out of 3 on the focus items. And this was originally planned for just 1 week here, so I guess I'll go ahead and highlight this in red as well, because over the last 2 weeks I have not done those 2 things. So really only 1 out of 3 on the focus items. And just recently here I got body fat percentage testing done again after month 1. The reason I switched over to InBody is that I have unlimited access to InBody now. With the DEXA scans, I was paying $75 for every single scan. With InBody, I now have access to get it all done for free. So if you look at my results from 227 to 327, so a month later, right, 1 month in, I was at 190.6 to start. I'm at 188.1. So I'm probably about 2 pounds behind schedule, right, in terms of losing a pound per week. I was at 14.9% body fat. I'm now at 14.1% body fat. So I have been trending down there. Not bad. 94.1 pounds of skeletal muscle mass, and now at 93.7 pounds of skeletal muscle mass, which is kind of crazy to me. I mean, I've increased training significantly. I mean, I've doubled my training since the month before with that fractured clavicle, and yet I've based off this, I've lost muscle. So yeah, it's a little disheartening. I'm not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So as I look into this next week's focus items, or these next week, next 2 weeks, depending upon when I report back, Ultimately, what my focus items are going to be here is for week 5, maybe week 5/6, is I'm going to make my next drop in calories to 2,600. As I had said, I'm doing 2,800 for month 1, 26 for month 2, and 2,400 for month 3. So I'm going to go ahead and make that next drop to 2,600 here. New macros: 195 grams of protein, 72 grams of fat, 293 grams of carbs. Now here's the thing. I am, and again, I don't want to put a lot of value in this, but I have been averaging, right? I've been on a calorie macro roller coaster ride. And again, why is that? Because my MyFitnessPal results have been all over, or my planning has been all over the place. Well, it hasn't been all over the place. I just haven't been prioritizing it, to be, honest. But my average calorie intake has been right around that 2,800 mark. So, I mean, that is good news. However, again, if y'all remember here with the COVID thing, I kicked this thing off. I was weighing about 191, got COVID, dropped me all the way down to 183, right? And then since things have kind of normalized here a bit, now I've kind of slowly increased back up to 188, right? So again, it's these days that are way over on calories that are really hurting me, and it's a byproduct of not prioritizing. I think that I don't know, I really hate making excuses, but I want to communicate this stuff because I think it's important. I try to give myself, not only myself, but the clients that I work with, grace when they need it. And I push them when they need it as well. And, the same is to be true with me. This is actually the first year out of the last 5 years that I haven't worked with a coach during my summer shred. And I don't know, I'm almost regretting the decision a little bit, because I feel like I maybe should have hired the coach. However, again, as I've shared, baby number 3 on the way, I'm really trying to cut finances here, as our expenses, as much as possible. We've got to buy a new car, right? Because my wife's Jeep Cherokee is not going to cut it when it comes to 3 kids here. So I'm in the process of saving up for a bigger SUV, right? And these things are not cheap. We're talking 60, 70, 80 grand, kind of depending upon what you go with here. So I did not hire a coach this time around. However, maybe I should have, right? Because what happens when you hire a coach? Well, the more you pay attention, right? Accountability is the number 1 driver of success. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're me, who's a coach with 12 years of experience, $60,000 spent on a nutrition degree, tens of thousands of dollars spent on certifications, 1,000+ clients that I've worked one-on-one. Doesn't matter. I know what to do. What connects the knowing to the doing is accountability, period. Right? And it just is what it is. It's not negotiable. It's non-debatable. So I'm trying to pull it together here. 3 to 5 months is a dieting phase, and based off my efforts here, I might be extending this another month. However, I'm taking it one decision, one day, 1 week, 1 month at a time here, and I'm trying not to get too far ahead of myself here. But my focus items here going forward into this next week / next 2 weeks, I'm going to make the next drop in calories. Got the new macros there. I'm going to make the next increase in steps to 9,000. I'm doing good on everything from a habit standpoint: grocery shopping, I coach plates, steps, workouts. Let me go ahead and bump this up to 9,000 here. Hi, Bubba. I got my boys over here saying hi right now. So we're gonna finish this podcast up. But yeah, so steps, workouts, sleep. Weight is trending down a little bit. Eating out was much better this last week in comparison to the previous week. Hydration's good. Just not doing a good job of planning the night before. And hi, Bubba. and definitely not doing a good job with calorie and macro consistency. So those are two big areas of importance there, and that's something I'm going to really focus on. So I'll add focus items here. Let's get Plan by FitnessPal night before. By the way, if you haven't can't tell, I'm the world's worst typer in the world. I was the kid that in my computer class when we were learning how to type, I don't know if y'all remember those little rubber pads that would those like little rubber things that would go over the keyboard so you couldn't see the letters. Well, when my teacher wasn't looking, I would just like I would peek, right, and I would cheat, and it's carried with me through life because now I suck at typing. I'm the 1-2 guy here, so don't do that. Anyways, all right, so Plan My FitnessPal the night before, in order to dial in calories / macro consistency. Cool. All right. So in review, whether this be week 5, week 6, I've been kind of doing these updates like every 2 weeks. So it'll probably be that, probably be closer to that. So we'll make the next drop here to 2,600 calories. We got our new macros there: 195 grams of protein, 72 grams of fat, 293 grams of carbs. We'll increase steps to 9,000. We'll plan My FitnessPal the night before in order to dial in calories / macro consistency. And then the only other thing I owe y'all is I'll get my monthly body composition photos done here this week, and yeah, take things from there. But I kind of always communicate to clients, if this was the only thing in your life that you had to focus on, it'd be easy, right? And a lot of the times people think that nutritionists, dietitians, nutrition coaches, personal trainers, whatever, they think that this is the only thing in their life that they have to focus on. And the reality of it is for some that's true, and for others it's not. As I come up on 32 years of age here in August, as I come up on just marriage, a pregnant wife of our, pregnancy number 3 here, 3rd kid on the way, managing businesses. It's a lot, it's a lot. And, it's stressful, because the reality of it is most people don't actually care about their health. Maybe they say they do. We all want to be fit, healthy, and confident in our body and all of these things, but talk is cheap. It's hard. It's hard to feel your best and look your best and perform your best, and it's hard. It's easy to say, it's much harder to execute. And I'm feeling it more and more as I get older, I'm feeling it more and more as I have more kids and more stressors in life. And I think it helps me as a coach because it helps me empathize with the clients that I work with. So this is probably one of the most vulnerable, transparent coaching videos that I've probably made. So I don't know. Again, sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, man, is this something that I should post? But I truly do think that I should, right? Because I think that it will help y'all to realize that I'm not perfect, that I'm a human being, and that I too struggle with living a healthy lifestyle. I struggle with these healthy lifestyle habits. And I've got a lot of education, I've got a lot of experience. But sometimes, this isn't like my number one priority in life. Like I have other things that are a priority to me. And I too have to remind myself that I have to be selfish so that I can be selfless, right? If I don't prioritize me and I don't prioritize my own health, eventually I won't be able to show up for the people that I love. I won't be able to show up as the husband that I want to be. I want to be able to show up as the dad that I want to be. I won't be able to show up as the coach that I want to be. And it's hard. It's hard though, guys. I get it. So, you know that you're not alone. This is challenging for all of us. And you know, the summer shred, this title of a journey here is, it sounds great in theory, but it is hard. So I'm really reflecting on this first month, and I'm not super pumped about it. I'm not I'm not sitting here like, man, this was a great first month. I'm actually looking at this like, man, this was pretty subpar. But I'm trying to stay positive, and I'm really trying to, not saying to beat myself up about the past. I'm really trying to focus on going forward and trying to improve, trying to get better, from month 2 to month 1. That's all you can do, right? Because at the end of the day, what's done is done. There's no sense in wasting your time and energy on things that you don't have control over anymore. So I hope this is encouraging, inspiring, motivating, and vulnerable, transparent, and just helps you to understand that, again, this stuff's hard, right? So appreciate those of you that have watched or listened up into this point. If you have questions, let me know. And yeah, month 2, we're heading into April. Hopefully I will have a better report for you in the next week or over the next 2 weeks. And by the end of this, hopefully I can look back on this video and laugh and be like, man, yeah, you just weren't putting in the work, dude. You weren't putting in, the effort, right? Because that's kind of the thing, right? Don't complain about the results that you're not getting for the work that you're not willing to do. And that's where I'm at right now. That's okay. But I know what it takes. I know the work that it takes. I know that I'm willing to do it. I've proved it multiple times in the past. Stress is a dirty, dirty devil, right? And it's been getting me over the last month, ever since we found out that my wife was pregnant, baby number 3, and kind of anticipating, stressing about this first doctor's appointment. So hopefully I can just pull it all together here and show up for me, show up for y'all, and lead from the front and set that example. But only time will tell. So we'll see what happens. All right, Mom. All right, guys. So yeah, appreciate y'all. And yeah, let's see what happens. All right. Until next time. See you guys.